President Tinubu's loyalists accused Chief of Staff GBAJABIAMILA of selling appointments to highest bidders, push for his immediate sacking. Oh boy. So what would you expect of a corrupt system that is laden with corrupt people? Okay, GBAJABIAMILA is selling appointments to the highest bidder, meaning they're paying him to get appointments. Can you imagine? The same way they sell civil service jobs, the same way they sell everything that comes their way. So why will GBAJABIAMILA do that? So people are paying him to become minister. That means when they enter, the next thing is to recover the investment first before they start serving the people. Well, I will not be surprised. After all, the president himself paid heavily to become president. He bought over everybody, both Senate, the House of Reps, the security agencies, the judiciary, everywhere, and including INEC. In fact, INEC was first bought. All the other people with criminal cases and EFCC cases in other political parties, he bought them over to APC to use them. So I will not be surprised if GBAJABIAMILA, the chief of staff, is also collecting, collecting money for people to be given ministerial portfolios. That means this government is in for a long haul. So let's see exactly what is happening here. Some loyalists of President Bola Tinubu have accused the chief of staff to the president, FEMI GBAJABIAMILA, of selling appointments to the highest bidders, Daily Post report. This report noted that this has caused outrage among members of the public who are calling for a thorough investigation into the matter and demanding the immediate suspension of GBAJABIAMILA for allegedly profiting from government appointments. Can you imagine? That's corruption. Last week, the president appointed 10 resident electoral commissioners of INEC. That is INEC resident commissioners across some states. However, sources told the newspaper that since the beginning of President Tinubu's administration, GBAJABIAMILA has been replacing some of the names of individuals approved by the president for appointment, with his own choices. So one of the examples cited is the replacement of the name of Ekiti resident electoral commissioner with the name of a former commissioner under the immediate past governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi. So the source was quoted by Daily Post saying that the resident electoral commissioner from Ekiti that he, GBAJABIAMILA, put there, the man was Fayemi's former commissioner. That was not the person Asiwaju signed off on. So the person Asiwaju signed off on was Mrs. Oluwatoyin Babalola, okay, the former legal advisor of INEC. Okay, but when the announcement was made, two members of the president's cabinet met with him to complain that the person they nominated had been changed with another person. The president was infuriated. He said he checked the name of the woman before he signed the list. So he summoned his chief of staff, but when he arrived, he was, stuttering. The president asked him to bring the list he signed. And the president says, so what he has been hearing is true, that whenever he signs something, it will be changed. The president gave 3 instances that he signed for something and was changed. So he felt bad and gave him the last warning. He directed that the woman's name must be on the list. So the source added that following GBAJABIAMILA's alleged action, a plan was in place to ease him out of the villa by giving him an ambassadorial appointment. This is like the 5th time the chief of staff is embarrassing the president. There is a plan to ease him out of villa by giving him an ambassadorial position, the source said. Another source noted that the president's private principal secretary, Akim Okunola, was already doing some of the GBAJABIAMILA's work pending the resolution of the issue. Besides, it was gathered that the president was already putting up a team that will help the chief of staff. The source continued, the National Social Investment Program National Social Investment Program issue 2, that wasn't the person Asiwaju recommended for the position. Halima Shehu, okay, was the one recommended by Asiwaju. Can you imagine? So the person that they put there wasn't the person that was recommended by the president. So Femi GBAJABIAMILA is already doing his own thing. What do you expect of somebody that had a financial fraud case in the US? He claimed to be a lawyer. He collected a client's money in the US and ran back to Nigeria without doing the case. And after a few years, he was to be indicted because he became a criminal case in the US. He ran back to the US, made all the payment, apologized, and came back to Nigeria. Eh? So what do we get? We are going to see more of this. This is the only one that has just been exposed. Almost all the people that TINUBU had in his cabinet, of course, including himself, they do not have clean hands, I tell you. And it's just the beginning. Very soon we'll begin to see some more cases cropping up. Already APC is a party of corrupt people because they said no matter how big your sins are, no matter how big your corruption cases are, when you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. That is exactly the slogan of Oshomole in 2019 when he was doing campaign for Buhari as the then APC national chairman. And since then, APC has upheld that situation or that, that mantra or that phenomenon that today, no matter how big your sins are forgiven. That is why Ifanyoba of Anambra State was able to, move from the party he was and move to APC now. Okay, after getting his senatorial position from the party. Okay, after APC, the Senate president has EFCC case, Apabio. The Senate president did not even participate in the senatorial primaries, but he's now the Senate president. So Ojizo Okalo is there. The only reason they remove Ojizo Okalo from Kirikiri is because the judge that handles his case is not the right judge, but know that he didn't commit the crime. That is Nigeria for you. So APC is full of people like GBAJABIAMILA, and we will not be surprised. We will not be surprised that this is happening. It's quite an unfortunate situation. The question is where Nigeria is just beginning to see things like this. This administration obviously is going to be worse than Buhari's administration. In fact, it's like Buhari's administration will have more clean people, even as corrupt as it was, we have more clean people than we have in this TINUBU's administration. Femi GBAJABIAMILA is just one of them. There are more people to be exposed. I tell you, and this is just 5 months into power. I wonder what will happen by the end of these first 4 years. Nigeria. God will help Nigeria in the hand of corrupt politicians. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.